Hello again everyone and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel. I am holding in my hand the shuttle hook of the mighty, legendary, and sometimes challenging to restore Necchi Supernova Ultra. And anyone who owns a Nechi and who loves it understands why. I don't really even have to explain that to you, but if you're new to Nechis, it was an Italian company that made sewing machines for a number of decades. Like many of the great legacy brands, it is no longer a company. It is a brand. I believe Janome may have rights to the brand. I don't know if they still market it. Maybe they do. This has happened in many industries where you had all these companies and then they've all been merged or bought out or what have you. In any case, that is not our concern today. So in the past, I've shown you all how to lubricate the race of your sewing machine, but one of the things you can do is you can actually lubricate the hook. And the way you do that is, this is the hook as you will see it when you place it. It will be facing you like this. You'll be seeing this surface, but you want to turn it on the back side because the back side is going to fit flush into what looks like a little racetrack. And what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to put, I've already cleaned this, I'm going to put 2, 3 at the most, little dribbles of oil, and then I'm going to come back with a dry cotton swab, okay? And I'm basically going to just do that. Now, you could have just left the drops, but again, oil is a magnet for lint. I'm basically just wanting a nice, thin, clean film of oil. And it may not look like much, but you don't need much, not for this part of the machine. When you oil a sewing machine, how much oil you use depends on what part of the machine you're lubricating. Because it varies. It can vary by quite a bit. All right, so here we go. I'm going to, let's give you all a zoom. Work for me, zoom. And I'm going to show you essentially how to install these parts. Now, if you've ever seen me or if you've seen someone else do an installation of a hook and a bobbin case and a race cover for a class 15 machine, this is not that much different because this is a class 15 machine. What do I mean by that? I mean it uses what we refer to as a class 15 bobbin. This is one of the lovely vintage Necchi bobbins. But it is a specification or a size bobbin that was invented by the Singer Company, and lots of folks copied it. And then, of course, this is the Class 15 bobbin case. And this is the hook that goes into a Class 15 sewing machine. So, what have we got? I'm going to turn this even a little bit more toward you all so you can see. Now, I have already gone in an earlier video and I took my cotton swab, I cleaned out the race, just as another refresher. What do I mean? What is the race? The race, think racetrack. It is this. It is basically a round track, and there's an opening in the top, and that, of course, is where your needle comes down. So, this piece here is your shuttle, and this, of course, is the hook. Now, you'll notice, be careful when you're doing this. If your needle comes down, it might get in your way when you're trying to install this. So, I'm going to pull that needle. Let's get that needle up out of the way. All right. So, I'm going to find your shuttle. Locate the shuttle so you know where you are in space and time. It's basically right here. So, I'm going to take the hook. Now, remember, the hook will typically be installed like that. So the hook, which is this really sharp edge up here, looks like I don't know what, you guys tell me what it looks like. Right here, this part is going to go as if it were going in a clockwise motion. So it's not going to go, can only go one way. Now, when you put the hook in, it should look something like that. Now the oil, that little thin film of oil I put on it earlier, that is going to help it hold, but it could easily just flop right out because there's not really anything holding it, right? It's just sort of seated there. Now, here's your shuttle. Get my fat finger out of the way. Here's your shuttle, right? And then here's the hook. Now, you do not need to put in the bobbin case yet. Your bobbin case is designed to be removed and installed without undoing all of this because you're going to you're going to take your bobbin case out a lot more often, right? Because obviously you got to reload it. So what are we going to do here? We are going to slowly, carefully take the race cover. Now your race cover looks like what it is. It's a big ring. And that ring, sometimes they install differently. Like this one, you've seen before, some machines, a lot of the Japanese machines have these little, I call them flippers. They remind me of pinball machines, and you simply turn them one to the right, one to the left, and the race cover comes off. Sometimes it'll come off in your hand because they don't all have this nice little convenient hook that holds it. But that's a minor point. So I'm going to take, you can do this with your fingers, but just to keep my fingers out of the way, I'm using this, and I'm going to snap that back in place. Okay. Now, notice right here. In fact, let's go back. I don't know if you all can see this, but the hook on this model, on this particular machine, it actually has two holes. Do you guys see those? Right there, and right there. So there is a protrusion right there and right there. Those protrusions have to line up with these holes, and if they don't, if you've got your cover up here and you're like, hey, why is the cover fighting me? It's because it's waiting for you to align it properly. Don't worry if you have them. There we go. You see, the protrusions have now gotten into the hole, which helps stabilize the race cover. Now I can close that, and I want to get this one as well. Now my race cover is in place. Before you put your bobbin case in, make sure that things are aligned properly, because if your hook got loose or out of kilter, you'll know because it won't turn. But now watch. See, it's moving nice and smoothly, and that very light layer of oil is all that was needed. Now, remember that I have the machine tilted back on its back side. So when the machine is upright, this is at the top. Now it looks like I'm pointing to the left. This little opening here, right, that little protrusion has to line up with your bobbin case, because the finger, or the ear, as some people like to call it, has to go there. When you put your bobbin case in, you got to have that lined up. If you don't, your bobbin case, you'll keep pushing and it won't go anywhere. It's not the machine's fault. All right, so let's go ahead and get the bobbin. We still have a full bobbin of thread here, and I'm going to zoom back out so that you see more than my knuckles. And again, because it's a class 15 machine, there are lots of machines like this. One of the things about the bobbin system, when it's class 15, it really loads pretty much this. Most load the same way. So the Italians made a lot of changes, but they didn't really make much change to this because Singer had done the work of inventing it. So again, you see here, here's your bobbin case. You want the little finger of the ear on the other side, right? So if I'm holding it, it's on the back side, right? When I turn it this way, you will see as you come around, it'll be easier to see if we zoom in here. Let's do that. All right. So as you come around, you will see a slit right there. That slit is where your thread is going to double back on, and it's going to go around underneath what looks like a piece of plate armor here. But that is that actually puts your thread under tension, and it is adjusted by this little screw here. I highly recommend that you leave that alone. That is a plan B if you have tension issues. If your machine is not causing issues, do not touch that screw. It's designed to be adjusted, but again, there's no digital number readout. So you can end up, most domestic sewing machines were designed to handle most tension adjustments at the tension assembly on the front of the machine, up top, not down below. But you can, and sometimes you need to make adjustments to this, but do not automatically start fidgeting with it if your machine is not complaining. I would leave that be. All right, so we've got our bobbin, and like almost every other machine that I've shown with a class 15, you are going to make sure your thread is hanging on the right side, clockwise. We're going to take the bobbin, you put it right in the bobbin case, and you're going to have your thread. Now your hanging thread might be over here to the left of that slit, that diagonal, or it might be to the right. Either way is fine. Don't worry. Wherever it is, you're going to find your thread tail. Okay. If I can be still for a moment. All right. And I'm going to take the thread, and there it goes. It just went into that slit. And now I'm going to pull it back. Okay. I've just turned the bobbin case in the other direction. Now watch. You see the black thread? It's coming around. And now it's just going to hang to the right of that finger. And the thread is actually underneath this thing. It looks like a leaf. This thing here, it looks like a leaf, but it's actually under tension, if I can get it into the camera there. Okay, so your thread that's hanging, the thread, hanging by a thread. You see the thread hanging, right? It's to the right of this finger at the top of the bobbin case. And it's actually, you can't see the rest of it because it's now underneath this, what looks like a piece of plating. But that's where your thread is getting the tension for the bobbin case, okay? And I can feel the tension when I pull on the thread. All right, what's left? We're going to install the bobbin case, okay? You can pull on the little flap on the bobbin case and it should go right in, or you can push and you'll hear it snap. Now, before you think you're done, just as you did with the hook, we're going to manually turn the hand wheel, okay? Machine's still unplugged, and you want to give it a few turns. And if your bobbin case stays put, it should, in most cases, be installed fine, and it shouldn't go anywhere. If it is not installed properly, it will plop out. And you'll know this when you're sewing. If you're in a hurry and you put this in and you think you've got it in and you start to sew and you hear this clink and the bobbin case has fallen out. That may have happened to any number of you over the years, but normally if your bobbin case is in good shape, you can easily fix that. All right, everyone, I believe we have gotten to a point where the undercarriage, that was my little pointer, we have gotten to a point in this exercise where hopefully we are ready to do some test stitching. I won't do that in this video, but I wanted to kind of let you know where we were in this lovely project of going through and waking up the Necchi Supernova Ultra. It's a mouthful. And I will be rethreading the top thread. I had to remove it when I was taking the lid off of the machine, and I will show all of you how that is done as I get the machine set up, and we will see what the machine has to say. It may like what I have done, it may not be impressed. So when a machine gives you a proper stitch, that kind of tells you when it's happy. So thank you all again for watching and supporting this channel over the years. And again, please consider donating to the channel if you have not. You simply click on the Buy Me a Coffee link, and you can donate whether you're a member of Buy a Coffee or not. It's easily done. It's a quick and simple way to support the channel. And I'm very grateful for all of you over the years watching this channel and giving encouragement as I have continued to look for machines that need rescuing. And hopefully some of you may have gotten the sewing machine restoration bug yourselves, and maybe you're going to take on bringing some of these magnificent machines back from their long slumber. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.